over here, I'd like to sing my intro song. All right? Hello, 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 how are you? I'm fine, thank you. I hope it's so with you. Hello, 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 how are you? I'm fine, thank you. I hope it's so with you. You should by this time be able to say the word THANK properly and correctly because I use it every Sunday. I want to welcome you to this amazing session tonight. As always, every first Sunday is our personal development conversations where we get to hear live testimonies from our students at the OEB Academy. Those present, yeah, past, and then, of course, the future. Future students who you, of course, are one of. Okay. And yes, the name is Mrs. Anderson. Yes, for those who are seeing me for the first time, hearing me for the first time, and joining in for the first time, Mrs. Anderson is my name. I'm your personal development guru. Yes, I am the best personal development coach and expert on the planet. Take this word to the bank. No capping. Yeah. I also want to use this medium to invite you to and for the public speaking program coming up soon. Yes, the School of Public Speaking. We're taking flight on the 7th of March. It's going to be a 6-month training, intensive training. All right. Yes, tonight we have a guest. We have a guest. One of my angels, my darlings, my sweethearts, my mwah, 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 mwah. And she's going to be taking us on a journey tonight about the OEB Academy. Yes. And in a few minutes, I want us to welcome no other than the beautiful sweetheart, Coach Promise. Yes, Mama, I'm using yours. Yes, Mama,
Good
how
evening,
are you
ma'am.
doing? Mama, how are you?
Good evening, ma'am.
My angel, how are
Very
you?
well, thank you. Very
Can I
well,
give you a hug
ma'am.
from there?
Good evening, everyone. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
darling. Okay, so you know what tonight is all about, right? It's the personal
Yes, ma'am.
development conversations. We need to educate the people out
Yes,
there. We need to inform them. We need to help them because many are there around there thinking they know exactly what to do, but when it comes to missing opportunities, they come first in line and they're asking themselves, what did I do wrong? As always, when you know better, you will do better. So tonight we're going to educate
yes,
people.
ma'am.
Someone said to me that Mrs. Anderson, I wish you can do a lot of publicity so that I wouldn't make the mistake I made the last time. If I had met you a long time ago, I would not have missed out from XYZ. And so this tonight is to help inform and educate everyone out there. Okay, so if you can share this live, quickly go on and share it so that your colleagues, your don't be a wicked colleague. Don't be wicked to your colleague. All right, share this live to your colleague. Share this live to your church members. Yes, you never know. Be your sister's keeper and your brother's keeper. Don't be a Cain in the Bible. Okay, share this live to your family members, to your neighbors, because they will find this really helpful. All right, so tonight we're going to be hearing from the beautiful Queen Angel Promise. I have a couple of questions for you, darling. I know you are ready to respond to them. Okay, what is my first question? I want you to introduce yourself. Amma, can you hear me? I want you to introduce
Yes, I
yourself.
can hear you now.
It's okay. So tell the
Okay,
world
ma'am.
who you are. Tell the world who the angel before me is. Yes.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am so glad to be here tonight. And I am Mrs. Dabo Promise, the CEO, the Proxy Communication Academy, addiction and an etiquette coach.
Great. So, Promise, I want you to
Yes,
talk about,
ma'am.
yes, I want to talk about your journey into OEB Consult. What prompted you to attend the OEB Academy?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
I would start by saying, I would start by saying that I was actually somewhere doing business. But whilst I do this business, I had a longing to get more. There's this feeling of emptiness. There's this vacuum I still feel inside of me to get greatness, to get my next level. But I didn't know how to navigate around it. So one of the days whilst I browsed through Facebook, I stumbled on OEB's page. And that was the beginning of my journey to this greatness in front of me today. So the first day I came to OEB, I actually came to make enquiries to know if it's something that would be worth it. So I stepped into OEB and I was stuck. I was stuck for life. That was the beginning of my journey into OEB.
Oh, great. So you were stuck
Yes,
for life.
ma'am.
Did you plan to be stuck for life? Did you have this?
No, no, ma'am. No, no, not at all.
Oh, darling. Okay, so for those who are joining for the first time, yes, you're hearing from Coach Promise. Yes, the CEO,
Yes, ma'am.
that proxy, right? Speech and Etiquette
Yes,
Academy.
ma'am.
Okay. And
Yes,
for those
ma'am.
who are also new to the information, she used to be a trader selling at a particular market. Okay. So she has shared this information with us before now. For those of you who are conversant with Okere Market in Delta State, yes, she used to be there. And today she is a CEO. And certainly she's going global. You don't know. Hi, yeah, yeah. Don't make me speak in tongues right now. Do you understand that? Yes. So my next question is, what can you say about your first day experience? Give me a hint about your first day experience. What happened at
Okay,
that day?
like I hinted before, I actually came to make inquiries to find out the place, know who the trainer is, know what it is that goes around there. Know actually if this is what I have been looking for. So the first day I came and met Mrs. Anderson, like I said, I got stuck. And then I got the satisfaction after the class, after the training of that day, that this is actually the place I have been looking for. This is the
Mm,
final bastard. Yeah, so that
right?
was the feeling I had on the first day, and
Oh,
that was it.
excellent. So it was a super glue feeling, like you were stuck for life. Okay.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
next question will be, what lesson stuck the most from your stay at the academy?
Okay. There were so many lessons, so many trainings, topics that got my fancy. But I would say that one that got my attention was making a first impression, making a positive first impression. I think that lesson got stuck into my subconscious. I carry it all around me, all around wherever I go. trying to always be sure to make a positive first impression.
Great, great. Would you want to teach us something for the next 5 minutes? Remember again that the purpose of this is to educate
Okay,
the world.
okay. I would like to say something around this first impression. We have an old saying that goes this way, that first impression matters. So at OEB, we were taught that you may not have the opportunity to go back to correct a bad first impression. So it is important that you strive to make a positive first impression. Yes, and you may not know where that will take place. So you always have to be guarded at all
Mm,
times. Do not be
mm.
taken unaware. Yes, ma'am. So you may, if you are not careful, you may regret a particular day because you let loose your guards. You allowed yourself, um uh, you allowed your weapons, you let your weapons down. But OEP trained us to always be on guard. So whatever you do in life, always remember that you may not be able to know where you would have to create a positive first impression. So always be guarded at all times. That's what I
Mm.
have to say to the public.
Great. You know, I feel like using this. I heard this slang recently. It's kind of popular. Men mount, like mount your guard or something like that at all times.
Okay.
Yes, you've got to be aware of your environment, of your
Yes, ma'am.
personality, of your worth at all times. That's a great tip. I know you're still new to join or you're joining this for the first time. Share this live. Like Coach Promise just taught us something right now. Okay? Yes, you've got to be guarded. Oh, she didn't say sometimes. She didn't say as your mood goes. Like, I don't feel like doing this today. Maybe I should do it tomorrow. I don't feel like dressing up today. Maybe tomorrow. She just, yeah, what? You were shaking your head, Coach Promise. What do you have to say about that? For those who feel like, I'm not in the
Yes.
mood, I'm not in the mood.
The day you may not be in the mood may be the day you would meet someone you would cry about. So
Absolutely.
always
Oh,
be on
thank
your
you so
guard.
much.
Always
That's
be
right.
ready. Yes, ma'am.
Always, I like that. Always be ready because you just may not know. You know, I think if you
Yes.
remember this gist I gave to people in class when I mentioned my younger brother who attended a wedding party. Was it your class? I told that story. Okay, so he
Yes, ma'am.
went
I remember.
feeling like, yeah, it's just a close by occasion, not necessary to look good. And I told you how he ran back saying, open the door, open the door. I saw my primary school mates. You know, by the time he wore his best clothes and went back, they had all left. And they went with the first negative impression. That's kudos. Kudos, darling. Okay, so the next question
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
you, because I know tomorrow is Monday, is give us a recap of your most memorable and unforgettable day at the academy. That day you'd never forget at the academy.
Okay. One. In fact, I should have more than one unforgettable day at the academy, but
Aha.
one day stands out. Yes, the day we learned picking your spark is another
Hmm.
topic I have read to let down. Picking your spark.
Hmm.
That lesson took us down memory lane. That lesson made us go emotional. That lesson
Yeah.
um, gave breath, gave breath to new destinies. I would say so because
Yes.
it opened our to so many hidden treasures we have down inside of us, which we didn't know about, we were not using. I remember the tears that went down that day. So it's
So, my
one
darling,
memorable day.
I remember. I
It's
remember.
one
You know,
memorable day I will forget at the academy.
oh wow. I remember also watching the video. If you recall vividly, the photographer who came to shoot to take record of the whole occasion was also emotional.
Yes,
At some
ma'am.
point he left
I
to the
remember.
restroom. It was all, oh
I
my goodness.
remember.
We couldn't bring it. Oh, great. We couldn't bring it live to social
Yeah.
media because of the extent of tears and extent of expressions. There's some words that were said that we can't let the world know it's in house and within us. I
Yes, ma'am.
recall vividly. Yeah, I
Yes,
too. I
ma'am.
think that day I also had to share. Oh my! Don't make me teary right now. Don't make me teary right now. I recall. I recall. Okay, so let's talk about another. Um, what do you love the most about the OEB Academy? Oh, Coach Promise. What do you love the most about the OEB Academy? Promise, darling, can you hear me? Promise, can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am. I couldn't hear you, but
Okay,
I can hear you now. Yes,
all
ma'am.
right. Okay. What do you love the most about the OEB Academy? Oh
I
dear.
love everything about OEB. Starting
Oh.
from the ambience, OEB environment is this kind of peaceful. It's an environment that accepts everyone from all walks of life, the low, the high, the middle class, the churchy, the Muslims, the Christians, the uneducated, the unlearned, the highly learned. OEB is one community that accepts you as you are. So it's part of the
Mm,
love I have for OEB. Because, some persons have come to OEB with very low level of low self-esteem, but OEB was able to instill into them their esteem back and made them come out better. So these are some of the things I love about OEB. I love that people are able to walk in and they are not being judged. Instead, they are better versions of who they were before they came in. Yes, I also
mm.
love that Queen Mother's arms are wide to accept as many.
As many.
There is no favoritism. Yes, ma'am. There is no favoritism. Everyone is a son and everyone is a daughter. These are all the things I
Absolutely.
love about the OEB community and environment.
Oh, you want to make me emotional now? Oh my world. Oh my world. Oh, great, great, great. Okay, so the next question I have for you is, what would you say about the Queen Mother MA? What would you say about the Queen Mother MA?
I didn't get that, ma'am.
What would you say about Mrs. Anderson?
Oh, I would have to be given a whole day to talk about Mrs. Anderson. This
Oh,
lady is
darling.
I have a lot to say about Mrs. Anderson. Mrs. Anderson is one personality that you shouldn't die. You don't leave this earth without meeting this personality. In fact, you will need to come back if you exit the edge without meeting this personality. So I would encourage everyone. Yes, you need to come experience Mrs. Anderson for yourself. But I will have this to say that Mrs. Anderson have this wild arm. I've always said that that is accommodating. Mrs. Anderson is also this personality that looks out for where you need help, where anyone needs help, and offers that help that that person needs. In fact, I had told some persons that if I could be this better, then Mrs. Anderson is a human mechanic. She's a human mechanic. She has the ability to repair, yes, ma'am, to service, to repair, to put in place any damaged human
Mm.
being. So I would have a lot to say about Mrs. Anderson, sincerely.
Yes, yes.
Um, there is a lot to
Okay.
say. Mrs. Anderson
Let's
is
not go
also
into
this
insightful.
personality that can teach the old and the young. This is one quality that have been able to single you out from others. For where I am, I had seen you teach babies. I've seen you teach the youth, teenagers, the little ones, the aged. So you've been able to navigate these levels of humans in their state. So that is one
Okay.
quality. That is one beautiful thing I know
I know
about you.
if I let you, you will till it's almost 11. If I let you now, it's gonna be 5 days and you are still speaking. So let's get to the next question. Okay?
Yes,
How would
ma'am.
you want to mimic? How would you want to mimic Mrs. Anderson? Can you mimic her for like 1 minute? Or what would Mrs. Anderson say? Can you talk about one of her lines or mimic her? Let's see. Oh dear, reception. Promise. Oh my world. Let me see. Promise. Oh, darling. Okay, so yes. For the sake of the poor reception, she had to, step off the show tonight. But I want to believe you learned a lot about educating yourselves about personal development. And I heard some few things about Mrs. Anderson today. When I tell people the name keeps increasing, they tend to wonder how. I'm also wondering how. And tonight I've just been called the human mechanic. Like, hey, my God. Yeah, 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 yeah. I've just been called the human mechanic. I'm trying to wrap my mind around what that means. She's talking about repairing people. Am I a spanner? I don't know now. What do I use? All right. So, yes, again, if you're joining in, it's a personal development conversations where we unravel and we open up a lot about personal development. And of course, I want to believe you learned a lot tonight. If you're here wondering where to go to develop yourself, I would easily, seamlessly recommend the OAB Academy. It's a house for everything you need. Everything you need. You want to improve your communication skills. You want to improve your insight. You want to improve your mindset. You want to be a better version of yourself. You want to increase and boost your self esteem, your confidence level. You want to stand out. You want to speak, and others will look at you and say, yo, who is this? Then the best place for you is the OB Academy. Yeah? Coach Promise, are you there? The
Yes,
best
ma'am.
place for you is the OB Academy. If you're not, she said something. I'm going to paraphrase that. She said, "Don't leave this world without experiencing Mrs. Anderson." And she said, "By chance, God forbid you leave, you would have to come back to experience Mrs. Anderson." Oh my God, it is well. All right, so I'm going to leave the platform for you to ask your questions tonight. If you have any questions that you'd like me to shed light on them, okay? Yes. And I say again that whilst I teach, I want you to pay attention to my pronunciations. All right? It's one of the best ways you can learn how to improve or learn how to increase your self-esteem and better your English pronunciation skills. That said, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. And I wish you a blissful week ahead. God bless you. Bye-bye.